Many people would dream of a canteen like this. A gourmet menu, quick, good food, awesome price. Sounds too good to be true. This is awesome. These are the best canteens of the world, and they have one thing in common. There's more to a perfect time out than just good food. We'll be taking our first break in England, the one place no one would look for good food. But here's where we're supposed to find the best canteen of the world. At least, that's what British media has been saying. The canteen is right here, Yeo Valley, close to Bristol. It's the restaurant of a dairy manufacturer, a family-run organic business, not the worldwide million-dollar corporation you might expect. And they're serving gourmet food for only $5.
Yeah, the guys here, they get up at 6:30, 4:30 every morning. It's a long, 7 days a week. And therefore, if you're fueled up, ready for the day, then you should be able to be more productive and, have a better sort of energy about you.
Owner Roger Mead employs about 1,500 people, not only on his farm, but also marketing experts like Luke Bigwood. He spends most of his time at a regular desk in a regular office. The canteen is quite the opposite of regular.
It's not too common in the UK these days, but it's a brilliant thing, and it really does add to the working environment. It's a real benefit.
This canteen does seem to be different. The kitchen is busy making preparations for today. Chef Paul Collins has fresh ingredients delivered every morning, and he never knows what to expect.
We wait on a daily basis for it to come into the kitchen, and then we decide what we're going to put on the menu. So this will go today with with the soup, and then this we'll use in the salads or as the main course. But during the summer months, we get a lot more produce from Andy and the guys down in the garden. We make it into oils and pestos, and it's nice to get it. And it's free.
Yeah, it is free. You don't have to grow that. We just go and harvest it straight out of the woods.
Paul used to run a gourmet restaurant and would work around the clock. His working schedule in the canteen is a lot more family-friendly.
My role at Yeo Valley is now I'm kind of the food ambassador, and I still have an element of input into the kitchen.
His ingredients are 85% organic and 100% local. He gets most of what he serves right out of the ocean next door, their neighborhood, or from their own farm. Their location in the middle of an agricultural area is perfect, but it's also a challenge to cook only what's at hand.
But the other thing we try to do is always to have a balance. Okay, your water's ready, Chris, there. We always try to have a balance because we get the whole animal back into the kitchen. So today we've got the rumps, but tomorrow might be something like a blade of beef or something as very, very simple as a beef burger, a chili. So we make sure that we have a balance of the entire animal.
The canteen has been so popular that it has been open to the public. Outside guests paid $10 to $15 for their organic gourmet lunch. It's been a success from day one.
We're currently booked up for about 12 weeks in advance. So we know for the next 12 weeks, there's never a quiet day. It's just fully booked every day of the week. So it's a real balance of, like I say, the staff are sitting amongst the members of the public. But today we'll probably cook for, 60 members of the public and 40 members of staff. Okay, 12 o'clock, we all right, guys?
The canteen opens in half an hour. The dish of the day for employees is beef and pasta for a meager $5.20. Additionally, another 8 dishes are on the a la carte menu.
Connor, Bogdan, you want to just come up here a bit, yeah? So we'll just go through the menu. Fresh tagliatelle, kale and walnut pesto, Winchester cheese is done. Gluten-free. It looks like it, yeah. Is that a mistake? That's a rookie mistake, yeah? Yeah. Abigail, taking off tagliatelle, we'll just use that on the staff. All right? Thank you very much.
Compared to other staff canteens, Paul Collins and his team only serve about 100 guests a day. It makes everything a little easier.
So the staff today can just come out and have a tub of soup, a bowl of soup. They can have just the main course, or they can have some salads. So we tried to keep it really, really simple, but I think today most of them will go for a nice piece of beef.
The soup costs about $2.60. Everything else $5.20. There even are waiters that show guests to their table. Today, employees can choose between pasta with kale lemon pesto and cheese or roast beef with grilled vegetables. In general, the dishes tend to be simple and hearty, but never ordinary. Luke and his colleague are hungry.
Yeah, one lunch for me, please.
Luke doesn't need to look for a waiter. He picks up his choice of food at the buffet. Chef Paul himself prepares and serves the food for the employees. It's a lot of service for a staff canteen.
Beef is a speciality here, and I think the roast beef is very good.
In Germany, almost everybody complains about their canteen. But here, you'll have a hard time finding somebody complaining about their food.
So I've never had any complaints. It's fantastic. It's the best food I've ever had at any canteen I've ever been to. So, and honestly, I've never heard any complaints from anyone who works here. No, it's brilliant.
But Paul has.
One of the only complaints I've heard from the staff would be at this time of year, when we put, on a Monday we'll give them cabbage, on a Tuesday we'll give them cabbage, on a Wednesday we'll give them cabbage, and then by Thursday they're going, guys, cabbage, come on, you know? But we try to do different things to it. We try to present it differently, do it with different, whether it's steamed, char-grilled, a little gratin, we try to do something different. But at the end of the day, it's cabbage. It comes from 6 miles away, it's organic, it's local to us, it supports that business. I don't know what they want us to do. I mean, in England at this time of year, it's cabbage.
This canteen is supposedly the best in the world. Organic food, local produce, or even self-grown, gourmet chefs, restaurant-style service, and a cozy atmosphere make it a special place. And it's not just to make the employees happy. The canteen also serves as a promotion platform. Customers and business partners are introduced to the products of the dairy company. Soon they would like to target a more metropolitan group with a new restaurant in London. The next canteen would be surprised if only 100 guests came. In India, hundreds of thousands go on their lunch break, pay almost nothing, and it's delicious too. Bangalore is the third largest city of India, officially home to 8.4 million people. And for most, a warm meal for lunch is important. Only large businesses have their own canteens. Compared to Germany, food is a lot more expensive. A quarter of an Indian paycheck is spent on food. Germans spend only about 11% in comparison. 37-year-old Srinivas knows the problem. He runs a little barbershop downtown. He earns about $250 a month and shares a small apartment with his wife and 4 children. Most people around here are day laborers. For them, it's difficult to bring food from home. Most of them get up at 5 and start work at 6. It would be hard for them to prepare food in advance. They prefer street food. But street food is expensive. A meal costs about 60 cents. A German with an average income would have to spend $10 in comparison. That's quite an amount of money in the long run. This is why the government has decided to get involved. About 2 months ago, I heard a lot of people say the canteen that the government built is really beautiful, and then I tried it, and since then I've been going there every day. Bangalore has set an ambitious goal. The city wants to build 174 canteens to cater to 300,000 people. The food will be subsidized by the government and costs only about 15 cents. Manoj Rajan is in charge of the canteen construction. Today he's at one of the 27 center kitchens. They're new and standardized. In India, that's something quite extraordinary.
This being a government project, this being of such a large scale, standard operating procedures have been put in place out over here. So the people working here shouldn't think that we are giving food at 13 cents out over here, hygiene can go away.
The hygienic standards are equal to those of 5-star hotels in the city. Chef Akash sees to that. He and his team deliver breakfast, lunch, and dinner to the surrounding canteens. Up to 15,000 meals a day. They only have about 2 hours to prepare lunch. Write down exactly what's in it and get the ingredients. They prepare 4 different traditional Indian dishes every day. 2 for breakfast and 2 for lunch and dinner. The weekly schedule is always the same. We're preparing 500 kilos of sambar. That's about 50 kilos of vegetables. This is a Madras cucumber, very popular. We mix it into our sambar and it gives it a unique taste. Sambar is a lentil-based soup with vegetables. It's so popular it's on the menu almost every day. And this is where it's going to be sold. Most of the 174 canteens already exist. This one should open in 6 days. With head of constructions Nandesh at his side, Manoj Rajan tours the site.
So this is a third day activity, sir. So wall panels have come up already. I mean, today we are going to finish all the wall panels of this. Then tomorrow we will fix the furnitures inside, the table.
The canteens seem to be small, but there's just not a lot of space left in downtown Bangalore. Every canteen consists of 86 ready-made modules. Construction is ridiculously fast compared to regular buildings.
Fixing it in the site is a simple task. 4 days for the mega structure to come up and 4 days for the mechanical, electrical and plumbing related works. So in 8 total days, the canteen is ready to be functioning.
The city is fighting famine. Every day counts. The building of a canteen, including all interior furnishings, costs about $56,000. To Nandesh and his team, it's become a routine. They build every canteen as if it were made of Lego. The last wall is up. It's time for the man in charge to take over.
Now I'm checking whether it is right angle to the floor, whether it's perfectly aligned, perfectly straight. Sandeep, move. Salpa, you move this side. It's perfect. Fine.
The construction workers reinforce the walls so the cement can dry. By tomorrow, everything will be stable. Back to the center kitchen. Chef Akash adds a little seasoning to the lentil soup. Then his taste buds decide if it's just right for his 5,000 guests. Rice is always served on the side. Then everything is weighed and divided and packed up still hot. The food is still warm up to 8 hours in these containers. It takes half an hour to deliver to the canteen where it's served. Every container is coded so the driver knows to which canteen it needs to be delivered. The food isn't cooked at the canteens, but since they're all over the city, they can provide food for more people. This canteen is in one of the poorer communities with lots of day labor. Barber Srinivas is on his lunch break too. Usually I'll stand in line for 5 to 10 minutes. No problem. 12:30 sharp, all canteens open their doors. The customers buy tokens for about 10 rupees apiece. That's about 15 cents. In turn, they receive a meal of their choice. Sambar and rice yogurt, please. The little place supposedly fits up to 150 guests, standing. Very often, everything is sold out within an hour. Especially in poorer parts of the city, people rely on the inexpensive and clean food. But the little canteens aren't welfare institutions. Businessmen and women, as well as better-off people, love the quality food too. The sambar is even better than mine at home. Since the canteen opened, I save a lot of money every day. Money I can spend to buy something for my children or my household. Breakfast is only 8 cents. That means everybody has food for the day for 29 cents. The city of Bangalore has taken it into its own hands to prepare delicious, low-priced food for thousands of people. Something we Germans might appreciate too. Next stop, Singapore. You'll find such a variety and number of ways to take a break nowhere else. The city-state of Singapore in Southeast Asia, population 5.6 million people. People around here don't chat about the weather, they usually talk about food. Gwen Yim likes to visit a hawker center on her lunch break. Large halls installed with food stands. These centers are all over the country. Gwen can choose between 400 dishes.
Singapore is an immigrant, it started off with immigrants coming to Singapore, and so they brought with them their eating, simple eating diets or food from maybe parts of China or Indonesia, and so these became our local food today.
Everybody can find something he likes to eat or drink. Like freshly made sugarcane juice, for instance. Food is expensive in Singapore. Since there's not enough space, everything needs to be imported. The prices at this center are quite reasonable because the hawkers are subsidized by the government.
Are these machine made now?
Some are machine, some are handmade.
Oh, which are the handmade ones?
You can see the fingerprint there.
Oh, the fingerprint.
These fried fish balls are made from minced mackerel. A great snack or a side dish.
Right. If you are a foreigner new to Singapore, you might think this packet of tissue is for you to use. But actually, in Singapore, it's an unofficial way of reserving a table.
The Hawker Center is a giant street food canteen. Gwen decides to order the shrimp soup. The broth is made from shrimp shells and turns it into a very hearty soup with noodles. You can add spare ribs or a pork tail if you like. Stall owner Kim Leng has been here for 25 years. His father had already run a street food stall, but back then these centers didn't exist.
This type of hawker store is come from hawker. Well, they push the cart along the street and shout and make sound and people order from them. That is really hawker. That is what my dad do during the 1960. Then eventually government said no. Very unhygienic, so they shift into the hawker center.
The state runs the center and checks the hygienic standards of every hawker. In exchange, they receive a public certificate of cleanliness.
When you got an A, means the cleanness is like that. When you get the D, that means like that. Okay? So A, B, C, D. Very simple. Is it A? Yeah. Okay. I can't remember because every year they will review again. They will review, see your hygiene, all this stuff of thing. Yeah.
Whoever would like to start a new stall needs to take part in a state auction. Whoever offers the highest rent wins. The result varies depending on demand. Some hawkers will pay only about $23, others up to $3,400. But a stall is still very inexpensive opposed to a restaurant.
The rental is cheaper, so we can get cheaper. And we sell by volume. We try to sell more with a cheaper price, so the food will be cheaper here. It's not like restaurant, you have to sell more expensive and the different way. Okay? Okay, I have to do my work already.
Even in Singapore, the government is involved in offering inexpensive lunch. Gwen's soup only costs about $2.80. She chose a shrimp soup with meatballs and 2 kinds of pasta.
The Chinese version of spaghetti. It's a bit spicy because of the chili.
A delicious bargain in otherwise expensive Singapore. And by means of variety, better than any regular canteen. For dessert, many love to take a quick nap. A short siesta is quite common in Asia, but not very comfortable in a center like this. Western-oriented Singapore is trying to endorse the midday nap. That's at least what the owners of this movie theater believe. But theater employee Rodold isn't showing the world's most boring film.
Basically, Singaporeans are sleep deprived, so we get the opportunity to come up with this idea to utilize our cinema for customers so that no need for them to take nap elsewhere or going back home.
Gwen is giving the sleep theater a try for the first time. An hour's worth of sleep costs about $7. For 1 hour a day, one of the theaters is reserved for sleeping only. Nappers can come half an hour in advance.
I'm tired enough. Need more rest.
Everybody gets a blanket and a strange package.
Self-warming steam eye mask. First time trying it. Okay, put this aside. Oh, it's warming up. I can feel it. Recline my seat. Let's see.
Adjustable seats in service. You'll find theaters like this even in Germany. These theaters are perfect for sleeping. Other guests have arrived but don't want to be filmed. Sleeping hour has begun.
They're having a deep sleep. Some of them also snore inside, so customer buzzer, then we wake them up.
But today, nobody calls for Rodel, even though somebody is snoring. Some customers eat and drink a little after their nap. There's a lunch special ready right on time when everybody wakes up. But today, everyone hurries back to their offices.
Initially, there were other people snoring as well. I was like, oh, but then very soon I was loud and into a sleep, and I was snoring a little bit as well. Yeah. So it was a very good experience. Very well rested.
And the theater owners can fill their otherwise empty theater during the day. Singapore offers the greatest variety of lunch dishes, plus a nap for dessert. We're traveling back home. Here, only 1 in 5 spend their lunch break in the canteen. As many eat out. Everyone's in a hurry. A trip to a restaurant, there's just not enough time. The Digital Canteen in downtown Berlin wants to take care of that. Their promise? The guest decides how long his lunch break is going to be. They offer slow food without the wait. Robert Dümke has started a pizza business and just loves good food. His dream canteen should be very flexible. If you're looking for something around here, there's a lot of good and healthy food, but often the restaurant will be crowded and you won't be able to get anything in a short time. Today he's going to order at the Digital Canteen, a unique concept in Germany. It looks like a takeaway, but it isn't. A meal costs between $7 and $15. Robert orders a starter, a main course, and a smoothie. Here's an option to tip. You're being asked in advance, which is a little strange. And then you continue to pay. This has taken about 10 minutes. Now he can continue to work. Rania, new order, small lentil salad and 1 haddock. Alexander Brozin is chef at the Digital Restaurant. Pre-ordering over the internet makes everything a lot easier for him, except if everyone orders at the same time. Best case, we'll come in at 7:30 in the morning and have a first order waiting. And when people order for 3 in the afternoon, you sometimes have 6 to 7 hours time. Alex prefers traditional dishes and local products. His all-purpose weapon, the good old jar. We have our own gardener. He grows a lot of vegetables in large quantities for us. I'll buy large amounts and, as you can see, I'll try to preserve it for winter. Online orders shorten the time spent at the restaurant by 20 minutes. No one needs to wait to place an order or pay his bill. Even walk-ins need to place their order by smartphone. Last summer, in came a group of 6, all over 70. It was difficult to explain our concept to them. That was tricky. They hobbled up here, came up the stairs. Lucas started to explain our concept and they said, "We ordered at home on our computer." At noon, things really get busy in the restaurant kitchen. Now I shift the order to prepare, and the guest will receive a message that their meal is being prepared. Alex can cook any dish in about 15 minutes, about 60 a day. No fast food and no convenience food. There are no waiters to serve the meals. This is where these boxes come in handy. They're the waiting room for the food. Personalized for every customer with a see-through display. The food is protected and awaits its hungry owner. The Digital Restaurant fulfills its customers' pickup wish exactly on time. There's no waiter to greet Robert at the door, only bright boxes. Okay, how does this work? Product can be picked up. Continue to open the box. My name with G, L, and M. J, and I'll press here, and it works. This is awesome. Okay, where do I put this? I'll put it here. The cell phone turns into a key. If somebody is running late, the restaurant team will take the food out of the box and keep it warm, depending on how long the guest needs to arrive. If it takes too long, they prepare a new meal. A microwave oven is out of the question around here. Almost 100% of their guests are on time. They're usually in walking distance in one of the surrounding offices. Robert has sent his tip in advance online and feels no regret.
Es ist auf jeden Fall sehr innovativ.
It's very innovative. I like to pick up here. It's a huge time save compared to other restaurants where it takes half an hour just to order.
Mit anderen Restaurants, wo man schon für die Bestellung und alles schon eine gute halbe Stunde braucht.
The customer alone decides when and for how long he will spend his lunch break here. The best canteens of the world are inexpensive, fast, delicious, and turn our break into the best time of our working day. Shouldn't every boss learn a thing or two from that?